Then another challenge about solar is that we do not store solar. So India has been working very seriously on lithium battery technology, where the solar power will be stored into the batteries, and with economics, like everywhere we can't count economics, because cost of per unit has to be very less as compared to anything. So this battery storage are happening in such a way that they will be cost effective, and you can always save energy into batteries. Then electrical vehicles are getting promoted in a huge way in India. All the car companies have started now selling electrical vehicles. The demand of vehicles is growing exponentially every year, and by 2030, 40% of vehicles in India will be on electrical charging, and more than 50,000 charging stations are going to be built in next 5 years all over India.
So who's building this? A company or the government?
Yes. So everything is company. However, government helps in terms of acquisition of land, giving the infrastructure. For example, I put a EV charging station, but I require a transmission line. So government will help in giving you the transmission line, so that you can get the power over there at the. So it's a kind of a mutually beneficial activity happening in private corporates as well as the government. So wherever we require policies and infrastructure, government is helping in terms of like economical, like they don't make any profit on that.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as the US is concerned, US is also going in a big way in renewable energy, and the solar, like as I shared earlier, it was around 100 gigawatts last year. US is planning around 800 gigawatts in next 10 years. So it's going to be very huge, like 8 times of what we are having now. So there should be a good opportunity in solar as far as this country is concerned. However, one of the red line is that in spite of all this solar penetration in our country, there will also be power generation through coal. The percentage will be less. Like for example, right now 73% of power is being generated through burning coal in India.
What was that percent?
Pardon me?
What's the percent?
Right now it is 73% coal.
Okay.
So that is going to be getting reduced to 30% in next 10 years. However, there will be 30% of power generated through coal.
Wow.
Countries working high also on nuclear power. Like there are certain research institutes which are trying to find out if they can produce power through nuclear, which is economical and less risky. Like there should be no risk. So by doing all this, what is going to happen? So what is the impact? Possible impact, we have one benchmark in 2030. So the impact will be that the emission intensity will be reduced by 45%, like less than half, like whatever India is emitting now, it will go down to 45%. It will meet 50% of the energy requirement of the country. India is planning to become net zero carbon country by 2070. Because of this new industry, a lot of jobs are being created in India. There are a lot of developments happening because of cost of power is now in control. For example, one of the best part of the cost part of electricity is that the grid rates increase every year. Like in India, at an average, the grid rates increase by at least 3 to 5% every year, and there is nothing we can stop. So if it is 15 cents now, it will become 20 cents in the next 5 years. So that is very clear. However, as far as if you have a solar power plant, you can freeze your power cost for 25 years because you already know the investments and operation and maintenance, what is going to happen for 25 years. So ideally speaking, what happens to any industry is that if they are not installing solar, then the power cost and consequently the production cost, it will keep on increasing every year. However, if the company has installed solar, then if the cost of power right now in India, it should be around 6 cents. Okay, so this 6 cents is going to remain for next 25 years. So you can always predict the cost of production and the way your company can grow, where the power cost is substantial in your production. So this is going to help in India for a lot of corporates and industries to become more competitive in India and worldwide. And of course, ultimately it's going to promote sustainable development, because with this movement, everywhere people are becoming aware about how they can save on sustainability. Like they would prefer to use plants, like grow plants. Like there is a concept of green building in India. So if you have a green building certification, you get a lot of benefits from the government. So they don't. Where you can impact is even in the water treatment, for example, waste management. So all the garbage is also converted into power at a cheaper cost. So a lot of things are happening because of this renewable energy awareness. The way people live and the way people want to work in their life has changed.
Excellent.
So what are the challenges about renewable energy? One is that the technology changes every year. So there has to be adaptability about the change, what is going to happen in future, because whatever panel using now, after 3 years there will be more advanced panel. So I have to take a decision whether I have to install solar now or after 3 years. Then unpredictable weather conditions, like these days it's very difficult to predict the weather, which also affects the generation. For example, I have planned generation of 10,000 units in this year, and if there is a lot of cloudy days, the cloudy days in India are possibly say 80 days. Now if they go to 160 days, then it will impact my power generation and similar the cost. Then land and resource availability, transmission lines, manpower. Currently the manpower is in short because more work and less technical man. So these are all technical challenges. So to conclude, does really this solar make sense? So yes, it does make sense. For example, the energy efficiency goes high. We don't have transmission losses. For example, if there was a power plant on this roof, whatever power is consumed over here can be equal to what is produced. So there is no transmission loss. Otherwise, there is transmission loss from the place where you produce power to the place we receive. Then there is stability in terms of energy and in terms of voltage. It's a green energy. It saves a lot of money. It saves, if there are a lot of investors who work on solar. So for example, they will invest in a plant on my building. Like I don't have money to invest in solar. However, I am consuming huge solar. So there are investors who invest in my solar on my building, and they will give me discount. For example, here also there is a concept of zero down payment, and you directly pay the finance company as an EMI. So there is a win-win situation for the investor as well as the consumer. So this new business model has come up, and finally for every industry and corporate, the cost of power goes substantially down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back to our mission and goal, what I've been looking at and speaking about is reverse aging the globe. So we want to reverse age our globe. The way I want to reverse my physique and the way I look and whatever. So similarly, we are working on reverse aging the globe, which means that we want to limit the temperature of the globe of not increasing by 1.5 degrees. So this is a very typical technical line. And how I am working on this is that since last 10 years, since I entered solar, I want to speak to at least 5 new people about solar. And this is endless. Like every day I can find at least 5 people who do not know about renewable energy and who do not know how they are using the power and how it is damaging the environment, and the future of our children. So this is one thing. Second thing is that I do a lot of seminars and workshops to corporates as well as to associations and organizations like ours. Keep on doing seminars, and I talk to children, I go to schools and conduct workshops. Also, I'm planning to have a painting competition somewhere in February for around 1 million participants.
Wow. Wow.
Like just to share with you, during my Rotary days, I was a chairman of Family Values, and we planned a painting competition for school children on the subject I love my family. And when this board was sitting and we were planning like how many children we want to have and all that, and what is the budget, who's going to sponsor. So our chairman, he wrote down 15,000 children we want to do, and I added 1 zero by mistake, so it became 150,000. So they said, Jai, what you are writing? It's 150,000. I said, is it? I thought you have written 1,500 and I put 1 zero over there. So he said, no, I had already put 15,000. So I said, now okay, we have decided to do 150,000, so we'll do it. And we approached 150 schools. In Mumbai, there are more than 2,000 schools in our area. So we approached many schools and we got 150 schools. We have 150 clubs. So we requested each club in our district to take one school and go and conduct this. So in each school, like we had 150 schools and 1,000 children in each school. And we had this competition on a single day. It was 7th January 1998. And 150,000 children all did this painting together, and then